Hello everyone, Judgement here. I managed to get the Libram of Fervor today, so I wasted no time and immediately got to work testing it out to how much of a DPS upgrade it will be for Paladins. I bought the Libram from a Horde player over the neutral action house, which is probably the cheapest place you will be able to find it this early on, since Horde can also get the Libram from their war effort boxes, and since it's completely useless for them, they will most likely sell it to you for a good price. I had to pay like 400 gold for mine, which is a little bit much, but I wanted to get it as soon as possible so I could test it out and make this video. I have been testing how much extra damage I'm doing using Seal of Righteousness, Consecration, Exorcism and Hammer of Wrath with the Libram and without the Libram. I also compared the damage done with 0 spell power and 450 spell power against some undead mobs in Western Plaguelands. So let's see how the result went, starting off with rank 3 Seal of Righteousness. Rank 3 does 15 to 16 damage naked with no spell power and no Judgement of the Crusader on the target. It increases to 51 to 52 if we apply Judgement of the Crusader without using the Libram. And it further increases to 60 to 61 if we have Libram of Fervor equipped. This makes Fervor increases the Seal of Righteousness damage by around 16% if you have no spell power. Now let's take a look at rank 8 with 0 spell power and no Judgement of the Crusader. It starts off doing 60 to 61 damage. If we apply Judgement of the Crusader we get 83 to 84 damage. And if we equip Libram of Fervor it increases to 88 to 89 damage. So this will only increase the damage by around 6% if you have 0 spell power, which makes it clearly worse than rank 3. Now let's put on some DPS gear and bump up our spell power to around 450, and the results will look like this. Rank 3 Seal of Righteousness without Judgement of the Crusader gives us 118 to 119 damage. It increases to 154 to 155 if we use Judgement of the Crusader, and it further increases to 162 to 163 if we also have Libram of Fervor equipped. This gives us around a 5.2 DPS increase on Seal of Righteousness damage alone. Rank 8 Seal of Righteousness without Judgement of the Crusader does around 123 to 124 damage. And it bumps up to 146, 147 if we use Judgement of the Crusader, and with Libram of Fervor equipped it does 151 to 152 damage. This results in a 3.4 damage increase on the Seal of Righteousness damage if you're using rank 8. Alright, we got Seal of Righteousness out of the way, now let's look at Consecration. There isn't a lot of change here since its Consecration scales kinda badly, and I'm only looking at max rank Consecration. With 0 spell power, Consecration ticks for 53 damage. If we apply Judgement of the Crusader, it ticks for 59 to 60, and if we equip Libram of Fervor, it increases to 61, which is less than a 2% increase. If we equip our spell damage gear up to 450 spell power, Consecration will tick for around 73 to 74 without Judgement of the Crusader, and up to 80 to 81 with Crusader, and if we also equip Libram of Fervor it will tick 82, which is also less than a 2% increase. So as you can see, Libram of Fervor won't really give us any damage increase for Consecration, so let's look at Exorcism. Exorcism with 0 spell power did an average of 583 damage from 10 attacks. 10 attacks is not a very big sample size, but it won't change much even if we increased it to 100 tries, so it's good enough for this test. Exorcism with 0 spell power and Judgement of the Crusader on the target gave us an average of 646 damage over 10 attacks, and if we also equip Libram of Fervor it further increased to 679. After we equipped some spell damage gear up to 450 again, we got the following results. Exorcism with Judgement of the Crusader but no Libram gave us around 870 damage over 10 attacks, and if we also equipped the Libram it increased to 890 damage over 10 attacks. This increase was around 2.3%, so not really a deal breaker either, but all damage is valuable. Lastly, I also took a look at Hammer of Wrath. It's kinda annoying to test this, I only did 5 tests each, but they were very close together in damage, so I don't think you really need a big sample size for this. I only tested this with spell power gear, with or without the Libram. So, using Judgement of the Crusader without the Libram did an average of 832 damage from 5 attacks. And if we equip the Libram, it increased the damage to 878, resulting in an increase of around 5%. This isn't really relevant for most of us since we barely use Hammer of Wrath these days, but for Spelladins we do use it every now and then, and the extra damage is always nice. So to summarize up the findings here, Libram of Fervor isn't magically gonna make you the top of the damage meter, but it will give you a small steady damage increase, especially if you are a Spelladin, and we need all the help we can get. Libram of Fervor is also our busy Libram to the end of Classic, so we might as well get it now to make it worth every penny. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please like it and sub to my channel. I will try to increase the number of videos I put out over the next couple of months as we get into Phase 5 and Anchorage, since there will be a lot to talk about. So I hope you have a good day, and I will see you next time.